The VSL may not be the right metric to judge these trade-offs, but there are alternatives available that could. The value of a statistical life, or VSL, is a measure of what people are willing to pay to reduce the risk of death. It's important because an economist can figure out what a person or what a group of people would spend to save one life. And in this way, economists can actually place a dollar value on human life. The VSL is used by analysts in the government who produce cost-benefit analysis, which is a way of analyzing public policies like regulations. So if a regulation is really expensive, but it also saves some lives, the VSL can help the government determine whether the regulation is worth it. The VSL only counts what people today are willing to spend to reduce risk, but our children and our grandchildren also have an interest in today's public policies. If they could, they would be willing to spend something to affect policies in a direction that aligns with their own interests. But obviously they can't participate in our markets, so the VSL tends to put too little weight on their interests. Government regulators really like VSL, and one reason is because it conceals uncomfortable trade-offs that they may not want to face. Do we spend $1 million to save lives today? Or should we invest that money and save even more lives in the future? That's a really difficult question to answer. By treating a life as if it is money, regulators are able to avoid answering that question. There are other ways of valuing the contributions that each one of us makes to the economy and to society. And some of these measures are already used by the government. For example, the courts in wrongful death suits will value what a person's contributions were likely to be over the course of their life. These metrics are more closely tied to what we give up when we lose a life. They also don't put a dollar value directly on a life, and so they may be more ethical. Ultimately, we want public policies that save a lot of lives and are worth their cost. The VSL may not be the right metric to judge these trade-offs, but there are alternatives available that could.